Yes! Oh man, it feels great. These two are doing the same time with me. Anyway, welcome to Masa on the keys. Today's episode is in the style of off the keys, kind of vlog style. I have a special guest with me today. As you all know, you have seen so many times. I really appreciate her doing it again with me. Roisin here.
Hello.
And also I have a special guest. His first time being on my video. He's very active. He's a multi-instrument player as well. As he does classical and jazz. He basically does everything by himself. And yeah. Anyway, Ryan. Could you introduce briefly?
Hi, I'm Roisin and as you know, I am the jazz vocalist at the college that we attend. And I've been singing for basically my entire life, but professionally for 3 years.
Okay. And I'm Ryan Geary. I'm a music ed classical voice major, studying classical voice at the University of Southern Maine. I'm also a jazz trumpet and bass player.
Such a talented friend. So today I have two friends here with me because I asked these two to react on my video. If you remember, I have done a 30-day challenge on August, right before school started, and I performed Fly Me to the Moon, and it was very nerve-wracking. However, I did it, and I posted 3 different videos about how I did it and what I did it. Anyway, they have never heard of me singing, never, ever.
Oh my god!
I'm so excited.
I will play and ask them to react. Anyway, let's play a video.
Nice. I like it a lot.
Thank you.
That was good.
Thank you. All right, so before I start, first of all, I'm not a trained singer, and 5 years prior to that, so that 5 years span, I did not have any actual vocal training. So I want to put it out there before
we hurt you too hard.
Yeah. So don't judge me too harsh, but I'm going to ask, what is your first impression?
Just straight up, I would, if I didn't know you, I would still know you weren't like a singer. So like, that's okay. That's a fine place to be at, especially where you're at. But not knowing you, I'd be like, oh, that person's a very good piano player who is happy to sing the song with himself on piano.
Okay.
Because you could tell your like body and the way you were feeling everything when you were playing your solo and you played the piano part was very calm, very normal Masa. Versus the singing part, I could tell your brain was running like 100%.
Yeah.
So I could tell you were really thinking about what you were singing, how to do it. And that's great because it made me feel like I was with you there. But it did take away a little bit. But it was good. So like, it's not like terrible by any means. It was just like, it was. I knew you weren't a singer, which is fine. There's not a lot of singers who also play piano like that, so it's fine. Thank you.
Well, my first impression was like, it looked like you were having fun with it, and that like it didn't really matter how you sounded in that moment. You went for it, and that like, first of all, that's like very brave. Like some singers, vocalists who have been trained can't do that, and I think that is a wonderful thing that you've done. So that is my first impression. And like your breathing was really good. Like I could see like you taking nice big breaths before phrases, in between phrases. Like I was like, oh, someone who hasn't been trained like knows when to take breaths. And I thought that was really, really good.
Okay. Good. Such a relief. Quite honestly, I was very nervous before I started this video, and because all I asked was, hey, could you be on my video and react on what I did is what I asked. So I was very nervous about asking actual vocalists how they are feeling about what I did. Anyway, enough of me talking. Let's move on. So I have next question. what did I do better? Like, what can
What can you do better?
Or what did you do well?
What did I do well? Yeah.
Oh, okay. I guess your phrasing was really good. You listened to Frank Sinatra's version of this, right? And that is like the first thing to like, or at least for me when I first started singing like jazz music, it was a lot of just listening to a lot of vocalists and how they sing it, and I really liked that. I liked your like tag at the end, and you did like your own thing. That was really cool. That was something you did well, and just your phrasing overall was good. Yeah.
Was it on point on like how you sing jazz normally?
I would say like definitely loosen it up a bit. Like you can look at Frank Sinatra's version and be like, I'm gonna steal this, because you know jazz is all about stealing. Like, I mean, not really stealing, but like
Do not steal
You
things.
take ideas and you're like, I like this idea. I'm gonna put it into my song. When I sing it, but I want to hear more of like you in it. I want to hear you singing about it, and like it's a very swinging tune. You could really swing up your phrases because it was very straight in some of the singing, which is like very Frank Sinatra. I feel like. So maybe try to in my heart is a song, and let me sing forevermore.
Laid back.
Yeah, like very
Easy
laid
going.
back, and try to like back phrasing is cool, and it's like I think it's just a lot of just like you playing with it and just having like you were having fun with it. But I think because of like what Ryan was saying about you really thinking about the singing, as you could see in the video, it wasn't you, and I think you need to put a lot of you in it because you're a really creative dude, and if you were to put more of Masa into the song and not like Frank Sinatra, it can make the song a lot better. But overall, it was very good with like your breathing, your phrasings, and your tag at the end was really nice. So yeah, that's what I would say.
I'm learning what technical side
Yeah.
of how I should
technical
be singing.
things.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I thought it was great. The phrasing especially was nice. I think you sang it, and this is also coming from the same thing I said earlier, which was you're an instrumentalist first. That singing was something new. You sang it like how you play it,
Yes.
which is really important because that's what we should be doing as instrumentalists, and singers. I'd like to preface, I've never taken jazz voice lessons as her. I'll probably talk more about classical stuff and how I do as an instrumentalist too.
It's nice to have diverse.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
It was really great that you were singing it how you want to play it because all the jazz greats do that.
Mm-hmm.
So if you think about how anyone like Miles, Dizzy, all those players and everything like that, they all play ballads how they want vocalists to sing them, how vocalists do sing them. Chet is a good example.
Mhm.
Anyone listen to Chet Baker out there, he sings and plays almost exactly the same.
Yep.
So you did that very well, which is you sang exactly how you want to play it on piano. Because it'd be like, you sang exactly like you did for that. And that can also go back and forth, because now you can play how you want to sing it. And that's really cool. You did that very, very well.
Thank you.
Oh, can I mention one more thing?
Yeah, absolutely.
Something I've learned in my lessons is like a lot of it is something that you would speak. So you wouldn't be like, fill my heart with song. You'd be like, fill my heart with song. Or that's something like a lot of that I have problems with too, is just like the way I say things too. Like it's not going to be quarter note, quarter note, quarter note.
Right.
It's going to be like dotted quarter note to the eighth note.
It's
You know?
more conversational.
Yeah, that's the word, conversational. Like you're actually like, you know, when we're playing with each other, you want to like have a conversation with the person you're playing with. So it's like a conversation. You're right. Yeah, that's like something I've learned in my years of singing jazz. Is it's a very conversational thing, and like I said, make it like your very own thing. You know, like how you would. Yeah. So that's what I would say.
I second that.
All right, now is the best part.
This is my favorite part of the
What
day.
did I do that I need to be fixed? One thing before you two say anything. Of course, I mean, one, I'm not a trained singer, but I've been playing music long now, so I feel like I should be singing on the pitch a little more, is what I noticed. you know, listening again myself singing, and I think you know that's something I always know that I have to be working on, whether
Right.
I'm an instrumentalist or vocalist.
Yeah.
But anything else that I need to be fixed, whether it's technical or like artistic part.
Mhm.
I'll start because it'll probably be better like technique and then jazz.
Okay.
Yeah.
Technique right off the bat. Your breathing was good, but you need to breathe a little lower in your body.
Mm.
So, like you're a strong person. You're not like I couldn't just push you over like you definitely work out. You go to the gym. You're strong, big muscle massa, and that is really really important when you're singing actually, because you use a lot of muscles when you sing.
Yeah.
This is very important. All of this right here. So when I breathe something like that. If I were to breathe like just sing right now like da 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 da. Really low, all this pressure. Da, 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 da. It's way more in tune on the pitch right there. That's going to help your intonation a buttload. That's going to be totally important for your intonation. So breathing lower, getting lower. Probably when you get higher, it's like, please be true. If you have no energy in that, please be true. It's all low, it's all strong. I think you just need to sing a little stronger.
Okay.
Put your breath lower. Open your mouth more, open the back, because you take your tongue, a little lesson for you guys, take your tongue, you take it from your teeth all the way back, you'll feel your soft palate, a little soft spot, raising that up, lowering your larynx down, and then aiming anything you do forward is going to add so much more resonance to your sound. You know, it's like, it's kind of like, you're singing right now, like a on-the-wall Yamaha piano, and I want you to sing like a 9-foot grand, you know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
That's the difference. So like, because you could in like 1 minute change that, and your intonation would have been better, your tone would have been better, your vowels would have been better, everything would have been better. That's the most technical thing you can change. That would make you 15 times better.
Thank you. I mean, one thing I have to mention, if I have to, is that I mean I don't speak English as a first language, so
That's important.
how I
You
speak.
don't?
You know that. Anyway, so how I speak regularly is not how native English speakers speak.
Mhm.
The way is slightly different. I'm learning how I should be speaking English more diaphragm based, but in Japanese it's more like kind of nasally,
Nasally,
throat.
here.
Yeah, so I don't have to force myself to say something. But yeah, thank you.
An important thing is to think that singing, I was told this in like the 6th grade, singing isn't like language based, and it isn't, you don't sing in accents, you don't sing anything like that. So singing is singing, you know?
Okay.
So singing is singing for goodness sake, was something I heard from somebody. So you gotta think about that. It's like, don't think about your English or anything like that, think about what's gonna sound good for your voice. Because I don't speak like the way I'd sing.
Yeah, true.
But a lot of really great singers do, like some of the teachers here, you'll see them walk around, they talk like this, they always talk like this
Yeah.
in their highest point because it's less strain on the voice,
Right.
and it keeps them on their support, keeps them on their resonance, so they're never out of it, you know what I'm saying? Like you wouldn't just go around and punch things so you can play the piano later, that's
Right,
kind of
right.
what you do is like me speaking like this.
Mhm.
So yeah,
Thank
just
you.
speaking on that.
Such a great technical side of
Yeah.
how I should be singing, how you should be singing too. So make sure to take a note.
Mhm.
That
Right
what
things
Ryan
down.
just said was like absolutely on point. One of the most important aspect of singing, I think.
Mhm.
Thank you.
Hey, Roisin?
Well, something like Ryan mentioned was the soft palate and lifting it. I want to just say, you don't just happen to sing with your soft palate. Like I am still working on my soft palate. My
Okay.
teachers, they have told me that they didn't know how to lift their soft palate until they left college and they went on to like grad school, and they were like, one day it just went, oh, I can lift my soft palate now. So it is just like it's a technique that you need to work on, and something that I like to do is either take like a straw, or like closed fist, like a little hole, and just go kind of like. Have you done lip trills before?
Like
Like
no,
a horse?
I've never
No,
That's
that's a really good technique too,
Okay.
and just sliding from one note up the octave and back down. That's really good, or like a straw for breath support as well. Like
Okay.
using your diaphragm, like you'll know that you're not using your diaphragm if you're not using the lip trill, or you aren't pushing enough air through the straw all the way up and all the way down. And that's just a technique you learn. Like I went into college and I was like, and I wasn't perfect at all. And it just takes time and practice to kind of get to that point where you're like, you have to conserve that air, fill up your bubble of the stomach. That's what I always learn, like the bubble and filling it up.
It's okay to look fat.
Yeah, like
So it's more than
No
okay to
one
look fat.
cares.
You're singing.
you just lift, you just blow up your bubble and then push the air out as you're blowing up. Yeah, you can feel it if you
I
like.
see your neck is like this. You gotta be really,
Yeah, breathe.
gotta be really
Breathe.
not tense. Don't make anything.
Yes.
That's good.
And
That's
like
better,
just
okay.
like I don't know about you, Ryan, but once I learned how to breathe with my diaphragm, I just breathe like that now. I go to sleep feeling my diaphragm.
Really?
I don't know.
You breathe better.
Yeah.
You're a stronger breather. You get more air in your system, and you feel better every single day. If you ever feel like you're taking short breaths, man, just like really just calm yourself down. Just
Yeah.
they take deep breaths for a reason. It's calming. It's nice for your entire body, and it's amazing when you're singing. It's
Yeah.
essential when you're singing.
But another thing I was thinking of was like during the video, you were like giving it your all. You can step back a little bit and just sing a little quieter, and just
Okay.
because that will help with your tone quality as well, and like intonation. Because for example, like in vocal jazz, when we're singing way too loud, Taylor or my teacher will be like, just sing it quietly and just get that note. You don't have to be singing so loud, especially if you're on mic. It's not going to not pick you up, and you can raise the level and stuff, but just so that you can get that intonation right. But like I said, practicing like warm-ups for breathing exercise and stuff like that before singing, that's like the main thing to do when you start out singing, because you need to learn those things, and it comes as you go. Yeah, that's my advice.
Do you think if I fix those technical part, the artistic part will improve
Yes.
Yeah.
just
Well,
by itself? Like, will it
I think you always have the artistic part in you. It's just one of those things that you might be overthinking about yourself, because I think singing is so vulnerable, and you putting yourself out like this, who have never sung before in front of people like that. It's very vulnerable, and it can be kind of scary and nerve-wracking.
Yeah.
So I think it's just a new thing for you too, because it's not bad. Like Masa, it's not bad. There's the technical, and then there's the artistic. But I know you have that artistic part in you already, so you don't even need to worry about that part. Worry about the technical part, because the technical part, all of it will come together, and it'll be like spread all over the table, and you'll be like, "Whoa, my God!" You know what I mean?
The common misconception, I think, is that the more you learn how to do things and like takes it back to creative stuff and just focus on technique for things, you will lose the other stuff. I think that's a huge misconception. Anyone from vocalists doing anything competitive, like I don't think music should be competitive, but that's a whole other story. Is that music, sports, anything like that? Sports people. So I'm also kind of an athlete. Not really, but you know, like people like Steph Curry and LeBron, they don't just go on the court and mess around and get good. It's not how they get there. They stay there and they dribble for hours.
Right.
And that's okay, because when they dribble, it makes the creatives that they do better, because everything seems easier. So you practice things a lot harder than you're ever going to do them, so that the things when you take it back seem so much easier. So you do that as a vocalist, as an instrumentalist, as a basketball player. You can do it anything. So that's something you should definitely think about. Don't think about pushing yourself like, oh, I'm not doing this in creative right now. It's like creative stuff will come later. You have that. So focus on your technique from there, you know, because that's important.
Like also your skills. Like remember those times you were practicing your skills, you were like, this is stupid. But did it not make you a better soloist?
It did. Actually, I remember
Those are
the first week. So entire 30 days, I basically practiced 15 to 30 minutes a day. That was only like practice I had. And first week and a half, I remember, like, when I hit 10 minutes mark, my throat was like, oh my gosh, I don't know what I'm doing. My throat hurts. But as
Step number 1, you should stop singing for the minute.
That's another advice.
If it hurts, stop.
Yeah, if your throat hurts, stop singing, take a break. And yeah, but I mean, so, and I think the very first day I recorded, without any practice, without anything, I just played the keys and recorded.
Right.
It was absolutely atrocious. I think the video is in my channel, so if you want to see it, you can probably see it, but
Link in the description.
yeah, I'll actually, yeah, put it, I will put link in down in the description box, so you can go check out and you can kind of compare, and if you are the vocalist, please comment below and tell me what I'm doing wrong or what I'm doing right, what area I should be improving.
And if I disagree with you, catch me in the description. DM me on Instagram, we'll talk.
Please don't fight, especially on my channel, my comment. Anyway, we are kidding. Thank you. So the last question I had, overall quality. How would you score my performance? How would you rate my performance? Scale 1 to 10.
I'm gonna give 2 grades.
Okay.
Here's my reasoning for that. It's because there's the pure vocal grade of what you did, and then there's the performance of how the whole video was as a whole.
Okay.
The vocal grade itself was like a 10, probably like a 7, 6 or 7.
You can be very honest.
I think it was like a 6.
Okay.
I think your intonation wasn't as bad as you think it was. I think you did a lot of things very well. You kind of struck everyone, but just vocally, you lost a lot of points because you weren't breathing well, things like that. But your phrasing was nice. But the performance as a whole was easily like an 8 or a 9 because your piano playing was really nice. Your ideas were really solid. You knew exactly what you wanted to do, and that was really important. Just knowing what you want to do is important. So yeah, I would say it's a 9 overall for your performance because your solo was nice, piano was nice, the ideas are creative, and the voice was not that bad. If that's your worst part of your performance, it really wasn't that bad.
Oh.
You got to think about that. If that's the worst part of your performance, it was not terrible. There's a lot of terrible videos you can find where, like, I don't know, there's a lot of amazing musicians where I don't really like their voice that much, but I'll listen to their music every day. Not talking trash, but Jacob Collier, he is a incredible musician. Like, by far, if I ever met him, he'd be the best musician I met my entire life. Duh. But I don't love his voice that much. And it's because he's not like a singer. That's not his main thing. He's incredible at everything else.
Right.
But he sings because that's the best way to get music across. And that's what I think you're going to start doing, I think, throughout your career as a musician. You'll start being like, I need to start singing. It's more of an in-body experience. And that's a good test for vocalists, is knowing that that's the most in-body you can get with your music. So, again, like, don't be hard on yourself. It was a good performance. Be proud of that. I would say you could even re-record it and try to take these tips that we said in the video, and I guarantee you will gain many points back on your vocal performance.
Take 2 weeks and actually practice how you told me to practice.
Yeah, in the car, sing scales. In your daily life, just breathe deeper. Change your entire life, I swear.
I might be coming back with more vocal piece.
Yes.
I probably shouldn't say that. I probably shouldn't. Alright, Roisin?
Overall, I'm going to give a score, and my reasoning for it. Well, I'll do my reasoning after.
Okay.
The score I would give you is a 5.5. And I say this because I know that you have a lot more to give. And you have not had any vocal training. And I'm not giving it as like mean, I'm not being mean, but 5.5 for someone who has never sung like jazz, really, that I would say is a good score, just because this is your first drop. And I know you're going to come back and you're going to get 3 or 4 more points back. Just because you're going to take what we say, and I know you'll take it into consideration, and you're going to come out with a whole new product. It's not even going to sound like this, I think. I think it's going to be different. But yeah, I would give it 5.5, and that is what I'm going to say.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Terrible.
No,
I think you were going to think it was a lot worse, weren't you?
Yeah, I felt like just by listening myself singing, I was like,
You always
I'm kind of hating myself.
You're never,
right
you're
now.
never going to get over that.
Yeah.
That's something you're never going to get over hearing yourself sing and hating it.
oh yeah.
We've been doing that. This is your last year in college, and you can say you probably still hate hearing yourself.
There are songs I cannot sing anymore because I did such a bad performance or I've embarrassed myself in front of someone with it. So there's that. Like, they haunt me. That's it.
Vocalists get haunted. That's not a terrible way of saying it at all.
I guess that's a part of being a musician, isn't it?
You hate the performance. I won't play so many songs on bass because I was terrible when I played them. I won't sing the trumpet, sing.
Right.
You know, I refuse. I'm like, damn, I sounded like garbage.
But then there's also that aspect where you just have to be comfortable with parts where you do mess up. Like, that is something I've been teaching myself this semester is I'm going to sing something really well, but then there's going to be that one part that I hate, and I usually will just redo it over again. But I'm teaching myself, just go with it. That's another thing with jazz. Like, in my solos, there's points where I am lost the changes. I have lost where I'm at. But, like, you've known, my teacher will say, keep going. Don't ever stop. Just go with that idea. Yeah, it's not even in the key. It's so out of that chord. You still sing that, and you own that note. You own the notes you are singing. And that is something I always take with me forever. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man.
So, well, that is it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching, and I will put Ryan and Roisin's social media in the description box below. So please go and follow them. And Ryan, you have a music channel as well.
I do.
And Instagram.
Yes, Ryan Geary Music.
Make sure to go and check out and subscribe as well. And also his Instagram. And as always, Roisin has Instagram page, and you have SoundCloud.
I do.
I will put both in the
Roisin.
yeah,
Sounds like
description
Charlie
box below. Please go check out. And again, thanks so much for watching. I will see you in the next video. That is it for today's video. Thank you. Have a wonderful night. Peace.
Bye.